Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Time for another episode of Market Monday, where I go through the auction house and see what the best deals are for you guys. If you guys haven't watched an episode of Market Monday, guys, this is the video where you want to make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because it does seem that it corrects itself very quickly, but for the majority of you, you're able to score some nice deals, and I did find some in this week's episode. Last week, it was basically all a seller's market. Everything was going for the highest it has been. I'm talking 80 overalls. We're going for like 1700, which is just absolutely wild. Everything was at its highest. I actually told anyone that started around the holiday season to actually take tradable rewards for the first time since the game came out, because there just really wasn't any reason to not capitalize on the really high amount of coins. Now this week, because the event was perceived as kind of an L event, prices did come down, and I kind of said that. Now going into this next event, the All-Star event is usually one of the more popular ones. It's really fun. There is opportunities if it works like last year or the prior years, where if someone, let's say, wins the hardest shot competition, they get 99 overall shooting. Same with fastest skater. So there are some big cards that you can go after, and usually there's master set players as well. So I'm excited to see this event, because that event coming up is usually one of the best and just more fun. So let's get into all of the best deals currently in Hockey Ultimate Team. All right, guys, so just like how the sets have worked all year round so far, when you go and take a look, you know, there are, the basic way to do it is to make collectibles, and then you turn those into cards if you want to actually make one untradeable. And as you go along here, obviously the value for certain cards and for collectibles will actually change in value. There is one in particular going right now that I think you guys should pay attention to and scoop up as many as you can, and that is the 84 overall set, and here is why. All right, so right now, what usually ends up happening when a banger event comes out is that almost every card, no matter what the overall is, will go to about 7,000 coins per collectible. Okay, so for example, the 87 overall set requires one 87 overall player. You'll get 5 collectibles for it. They usually go for about 35,000 coins, or 7,000 per collectible. So the 84s right now, if you go and take a look, are actually going for in the realm of about 6,000 to 6,200, which is a really good price range, because if you add all that up, you're getting a new master icon or master player for about 320,000 coins, and that's just a really good value in my opinion. Again, there are some popping up, but anything even under 6,500 is a really good deal, because you're going to start to see these prices start to creep up again into the 7,000s. Now, you don't need to just buy them to flip them, but you definitely need to buy them if you are going to take part in a new event, and it's always good to have a stockpile in case a new card comes out that you really want. And any of these ones that get to about under 7,000 coins is really good value when the event is out. So this is a future play, because I don't think the Leaders event has any cards that you absolutely need to make. Now, the Trevor Linden, in my opinion, that's worth 325,000 coins. If you really want to make a card from this event, that Trevor Linden one is pretty safe because of his zone abilities and his superstar abilities. He is viable for the rest of the game. His size as well as shot, everything else combined, very good. Obviously, his speed is not incredible, but his abilities, including quick draw and everything like that, make up for it. Now, another good one is preparing for the future events. So if you guys remember back to December, I said everyone should buy 88 overall cards, just because, you know, eventually they were going to come out with a set that gave you a lot, and sure enough, they did. It just took very long. So an 88 overall set, I believe that came out in early January. If the overalls for events go up by +1 every month, so you'd have to expect the All-Star event is probably going to have 95 overall players, I think that's when we see the introduction of an 89. Now, 89s right now are going for about 48,000 per collectible, and you have to assume that it goes up +1 for, you know, how many collectibles you actually get. So 88 overall players, you get 6. 88, 89s, you're probably going to get 7, and so forth. 90s right now, however, if you want a future play, are going for about 50,000 coins, and anything under that, that's about 6,250 coins per collectible, which, as I mentioned early on, that's a very good buy. Now, you're probably not going to have a set for that for quite some time, but if you are playing the long game and you are looking for, you know, maybe team of the year, those kinds of things, eventually those 90 overalls are going to be used in sets, and I think that would be a really good buy for you guys if you're looking for any, again, around 50 to 51,000 coins. You're not going to find a ton, but if you find some that start creeping under, like this 47 for Bailey Peach, very good buy, and you won't see the set for a little while, but it is a good price. Next, guys, I want to show you, because the auction house is still kind of a mess and things are still pretty high. In my opinion, I think that you should sell all the overalls outside of the 84s, again, because the price isn't high enough to justify selling those cards. Everything else is going for about 7,000 and above per card if you were to trade them in for collectibles. So I'm selling everything, especially 80 and 81 overall players. Those are just so good to sell. That being said, before you sell those guys, for anyone that just joined during the holiday season, I want to show you guys another tip that I do to make sure you're maximizing the amount of coins you're getting. So what you want to do is you go to the team, actually we'll do it with another one. You go to the team builder sets, okay? And you might not have any intention of actually doing a team builder set, which is fine. They're about 600,000 coins in value to do. What you want to do is autofill. All right, so you autofill and you find whatever cards you have available. Now, right, for this example, I have 279 overall Buffalo Sabres, so you go to any and then search auction house, and you want to find what the cheapest card is going for. Now, the Sabres have quite a bit, so this might be kind of a rough one to do. We'll take a look here for 1,000. There's none going up for 1,000. Now, 74 to 79 over players, those are going for about 800 coins. Right? So if you would have just sold it for the bare minimum, you'd have lost out at about 300-400 coins. You want to make sure you're doing this for every single card that you have tradable that before you sell it. Now, once they get up to like the 85, for example, there's no point in that. That's going to sell for about the minimum value that you would use for a set, but you want to make sure you're trading in all your 80, 81s, as well as your 74 to 79s by doing this method, because you are going to make the most amount of coins for you. And again, I probably wouldn't recommend making a team builder. I get a lot of questions about that. The only way I would recommend making a team builder, guys, is if you are able to make two. If you can only make one, guys, it's probably not worth it. And the reason being is it looks like it requires two 94s to make one 98 player that will come out in the future, more than likely by the end of February, early March. So if you can only make one, you got to remember that 600,000 coins, and the card is not going to have value for the rest of the game. Not that they're bad. Again, Zetterberg has been one of my favorite cards to use all year round. He's absolutely electric. If you can only make one and you're dead set on making one, this is the one to make. Having two, at least, will guarantee you 198 overall card in the future. And again, it's going to cost you an absolute ton if you are dead set on going for team builder cards. I'm probably taking untradeable rewards just so that you can try to maximize the amount of cards you get. But it is going to be very tough, you saw with those prices. Another thing to pay attention to, guys, is really what the meta is trending to, because we're entering the part of the year where the Gaming World Championships kind of takes the forefront of the most competitive and hardcore players of the game. And while you might not have any intention of competing in the Gaming World Championship, you need to pay attention to what the players that are competing in it will want to look for. So the cards I want to just kind of point out here, for Style Icon, for example, is Brent Burns specifically. Any of the gigantic defensemen that have gold shutdown are going to be extremely sought after. Not that they aren't already, but I think that some of these cards might get forgotten about because, again, their stats don't look incredible. So, like Brent Burns, for example, he can get 91 speed and basically have 89 acceleration or vice versa, which isn't going to be very good in about a month and a half or so. But if you've gone up against any of these guys that are 6'5" with gold shutdown and above, it is absolutely impossible to get through them without, having to do some creative plays to use. And those are the kind of cards that you'll see with the super meta players. So if you ever see Brent Burns, again, this is a future call. If you ever see Brent Burns around like 400K, you can almost bank that you're going to be able to get that back at least. And again, it's just because of the meta that is going on right now. Same thing with Team of the Year. The Team of the Year Hedman, he's gone for under about $1 million. And for anyone that doesn't have him, the only issue with Hedman is that almost everyone made him. But if you see him, like 959 is close to where I think that come, near the end of the month or the next time he gets an upgrade, $1 million is going to be the bare minimum. Now, obviously, it's going to require you to have a ton of coins. But if he gets to around 950, you might want to buy if you are hut rich as an investment because he's going to go over that once that comes out. Also pay attention to what the new meta goaltenders are. So right now we got the new Connor Hellebuyck, and while you shouldn't really worry about goaltenders, there are going to be some that everyone at the top end competitive part of the game really wants to pay attention to. So like Carey Price, for example, right now is one of them. You want to pay attention to those because Connor Hellebuyck right now is the best goaltender right now in this game, just based on stats, everything like that. And people that have played against him is absolutely wild. The goal post to post. And why I bring this up, guys, is because the content developers, the new ones, are very well versed in the game. The new guys actually have grinded the game for years. They know what the game, what people get excited for in terms of ability, stats, and all of that. I would be stunned if you see anyone that's 6'5" and above have gold post to post, and it is a necessity in my opinion. It is easily the most powerful zone ability in the game. And any of these top-end goaltenders that have gold post to post are going to go for a lot. Just think back to last year's Gaming World Championships with the Justice and Noonan, the master set player. He was, I think, 6'6" or 6'7". He was a 93 overall, came out in January, and he was going for like 600K in April because everyone that was competing in the Gaming World Championship needed him because he was the best goaltender. So again, just future plays. It's going to cost quite a bit to get involved in that, but it's just something I wanted to put on your radar if you're trying to make money for the future. As for anyone that is new and just looking for players to use, it's the Stars of the Month cards where you are really going to see the best value. And I think that part comes from the fact that 90 overalls and above don't have sets, so they aren't required. There's no value guaranteed tied to them. Much like how, 87s are going to go for 35,000 coins because they're worth 7,000 per collectible. There's no 90 and above. But the Stars of the Month cards, why I think they fall under the radar is because they're mostly European players, and a lot of the player base is North American. They don't recognize, a Peter Schneider or Vincent Savigny from the queue. And these cards are very, very good. I mentioned it before. This Vincent Savigny, 6'3", left-handed defenseman with distributor and workhorse. This is basically a left-handed version of John Carlson. He's got great stats, and he's going for extremely cheap in comparison, like 59,000 coins. That's a great buy. So just scan through this if you are looking for, the 50 to 60,000 coin range. Go through the Stars of the Month card, guys. Just find some good stats at a position you need, and this is going to be where you make, your best value buys for your team. Lastly, guys, don't forget to trade in your untradeable jerseys in the exchange set every single day. Just a very good way to kind of guarantee yourself some coins. If you go and take a look at the team exchange, I've showed you guys this before, this set specifically. So it requires 10 gold jerseys, and you will get a tradable premium pack, which is worth 7,500 coins in the store. Just make sure that you're using untradeable first. I wouldn't recommend doing it with tradable jerseys because you can make quite a bit. So just go and search for non-tradable. I've got 39 here, so I'll just go ahead and throw in 10. And there we go. Throw in 10 there. And yeah, like that should, that's fine. Like you do that and you're good to go. And once you've done that, you'll get tradable options. Now, you're probably not going to get anything from the pack, but if you can do this once a day, you're guaranteeing yourself some coins. So for the untradeable jerseys, you can't really do anything with them, right? Like you can't turn those into coins really, but if you do this route, you can at least get something out of this set because all of those 80s and 74 to 79s, those have value. Like this right here, go and look at what 74 to 79 Rangers are going for. It's probably going to be over 1,000 coins, and you just made 1,000 from that one card. Elias Lindholm, again, go to Calgary, 82s are going for about 1,600, right? So you can make your coins back than what you're almost investing in here. So just a very easy option and something that you should be doing every single day. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this week's Market Monday. Make sure you check me out on Twitch, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time every single day. Twitch link is down below, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. And check me out on TikTok. Again, my TikTok link is down below, nosleeves12 on TikTok. I'm posting a lot of in-depth gameplay, advanced tips, as well as my best pack pulls and other tips and things like that. So make sure you check me out on there and give me a follow. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.